Hey guys, welcome back. I've got another Lizardman video for you guys. I hope you're all excited. Lizardmen seem to be the most popular, and I love playing Lizardmen, so this is a really kind of a great way for the channel to work quite nicely there. And I'm up against Krumper here and his Orc army, loving the name, very Orc themed. And we'll see how we get on. I haven't faced Orcs too often so far actually, so it's quite nice to face them. I don't believe I've played them yet online, so I'll soon do my first Orc game. And my army is the standard build that I like to take quite a lot, so I'd seen Krumper had a few videos up, in other people's channels, so I knew he was quite a good competitive player. I thought I'd better bring my classic best lizard man build so far. So a couple of skinks on the side, some with javelins, some without, to make the line that little bit wider. Temple Guard in the middle, the big 3 units, including the Star Chamber Guardians, with that added bonus, heroes and lords in my army. Now for my lords again, I've gone for Tehenowen on his big golden pimp chair right here. He's going to be dropping spells, giving poison, and being a general nuisance on the back of his giant dinosaur there. I've got a Carnosaur for protection as the usual, and the big Salamander, who I thought would do pretty damn good against Orcs. He's good against lightly armoured infantry, and the Orcs certainly have plenty of that. Let's go check out my opponent's army. He's on a very, very cool, unique build here. He did tell me before, we were chatting a little bit before the game, he said he was kind of going for a bit of a meme build. And I believe what he meant by that is that he's gone for a Night Goblin War Boss as the leader. Now look how cool this guy is, riding his squig there. Very happy little boy there. Now the goblins have some of the coolest models and just kind of coolest backstories and whatnot, so I'll try and get a couple of those on the channel fairly soon. Now his front line is goblins, kind of saturated with a few savage orc big uns. So the goblins are there to take the damage. These guys are some big damage dealers, good at killing you, anti-large. Although they do struggle to get through armor quite badly. Now here's a ton of arrow boys, including some savage orc arrow boys. They're pretty damn good because they're decent, melee combatants. So if you do manage to get on them with skinks or whatnot, they'll be able to beat them down quite comfortably. He has 2 wizards, which is quite rare. He's an orc shaman here and a night goblin shaman here, just cackling and running around as he does, plotting and scheming in the main orc way. He's got a big chunky amount of trolls. I believe there's 4 units of these bad boys overall. They're pretty good. They've got poor leadership, however, they're very good at getting through armor, so they should be good against some of those big dinosaurs and their thick hides. But they do have poor leadership as the one thing, so they could run away, but they cause fear themselves. And also, he has a couple of units of Orc Boy, oh god, this name, Orc Boar Boy Biggins. There we go. These guys are, anti-large, good at taking down enemy cav, are however a little bit slower than most cav. So let's get underway. I've already done an initial shot of the Salamander there, just a little warning shot, taking down a couple of savage Orc Biggins. And at the moment I'm on the high ground. I didn't really see any point for me to advance yet. I have the range advantage to start with while his archers are getting into range. And the Salamander's just there, chilling, firing some shots in, wagging his little tail. There's a big Bastildon over here with a Revivification Crystal just sitting in the back. So I'm not sure how this is going to go. He does have some Forest Goblin Spider Riders as well, who must have been hiding in the trees here, who do swarm out into the flank of my skinks, but after the initial charge, the skinks actually do pretty good. I've got 2 skinks here. These guys are going to react soon, and together, they give poison. They should be able to beat down these Forest Goblin Spider Riders, but not too much problem. I do start sending forward a few of the little skinks just to engage on this right-hand flank. They're up against goblins, so it's a bit of chap on chap. Nice little, bit of a small person fight here, I must admit, a bit of a heightist battle there. As you see, Temple Guard are starting to rush into the front line. They're trying to pin down these savage orc biggins. Temple Guard should do pretty good against them. Some flaming shots coming in there as well. My big dinosaurs go for the assassin move to go for this goblin war boss right here. I've dropped a flock or 2, but my opponent has responded with a big war of his own. Now his little goblins, and especially these savage orcs, are going to hit so much harder. As you can see, the goblins managed to break the skinks on the flanks. I do respond with a big beam of death here, the burning alignment, which does just ruin the savage orc arrow boys and basically break them off the entire battlefield. Nice first goal by my opponent. There does a huge amount of damage to those temples out there actually, so it's really good work there. I have managed to break through the front line. I've done a lot of damage to his lord, however, on his little squig, he has managed to bounce out the main fight. He gets some of his anti-large war boys in there on my lord. However, Tehenowen, even if you attack him with anti-large stuff, he is very tanky, especially when these Star Chamber Guardians rock up, give him their Guardian bonus, which leaves an 18% physical hit. Huge. Also, there's a big bodyguard here, Feral Carnosaur getting in and doing some damage. I do summon a Feral Manticore in the background, just to try and hunt down some Orc arrow boys, and he's going to be popping onto this Orc Shaman, trying to break him off the battlefield as much as possible. Salamander has now been attacked by Forest Goblin Spider Riders, however the Skink's going to be running over to help, and he's no pushover in combat. He's fast, he's pretty good in combat, and obviously great range attacks. I really like the Salamander, I think he's very versatile in most pits. So you can see things aren't going the best, it's not too bad. I've managed to push through the front line, get on some of his squishier targets. However, my opponent's done something really clever here, which I've spoken about before, which I love. He's moved his archers out onto the flanks, so as I've pushed through the middle, he can now fire in from all angles, and he's getting, they're not the most damage, Arrow Boy's not super accurate or anything, but just the amount of shots he's getting in is really starting to wear down my big tanky Henowin here. He's also getting a few debuffs placed on him now. So you see it's a very like Hannibal move almost, where you have like the weak centre, you allow your opponent to push through, and then you smash them on the flanks. I don't know if that was deliberate, but it seems to be working quite well. Now there's some trolls around the side which are going to be coming down, trying to hunt down my Salamander, who is going to be skittering away. He's very fast, so there's no point getting into fights if you don't have to. Getting him up around the back to try and chase down some of these routing units. The Orcs do run away, but they do come back quite a lot. Now I do have this main pocket of strength. I managed to actually break and shatter a few units here, which is very good. It's looking quite decent for me now. Things have kind of turned around slightly. However, the archfight is still coming in. Henowin is getting very low. And my Temple Guard are kind of being left behind at the back. I got a little bit overzealous with my big dinosaurs. And they're being left back just fighting goblins, just kind of being wasted here. Goblins, I could just leave them. They're not a massive threat in particular. My Temple Guard are munching through them slowly. The main fight is going on here. Henowin's popped, stand his ground, popped a few buffs on him, but the arrows just coming in from all directions, as you can see, raining down. I'm trying to shut them down with the Feral Manticore, but he does disappear. I do try to save myself here with one more burning alignment. It was more of a swing and a miss here. I was trying to blaze it down here to force my opponent to retreat in the hope that he wouldn't come into the fight, but he pushes through. Unfortunately, it is a bit of a swing and a miss. With that, the Henowin does break and go down. So there's Orc War Boys Biggins coming in doing a lot of anti-large damage, and all the range fight does manage to take him down. All of a sudden, from a very positive looking battle, it has switched around. My Temple Guard are isolated. My dinosaurs are up here with no protection. Looks like my Feral Carnosaur as well is taking an absolute beating, even though I am trying to heal him, and he's going to be starting to break and run. One good thing that's going for me though is the Ancient Salamander. I brought over here and started chasing down this Orc Shaman. I'm going to be luring these Orc War Boy Biggins away. Now maybe I should have turned and fight them. I mean, he is quite tanky, but they are anti-large, so I thought at this point it's best to run away and hopefully come back and fight another day. So it's not going too bad in the centre, mainly because the Star Chamber Guardians are just so tough. Now with the healing and the Bastiladon, who in his own right is a fairly good melee combatant. I mean, he's still a big dinosaur. He doesn't have a hit very often. I managed to scare up a lot of these troops. Trolls don't have good leadership. And with their lord, just being a little Night Goblin war boss, who wants to fight for a Night Goblin? So they are starting to break and run away. Now in the back, I have forgotten about this unit of Temple Guard, who are just sitting here taking arrows to the face. However, soon they will be jumping in, trying to help their brothers out over here and take down some of these trolls. So a big Carnosaur has come back into the fray. He's going to be hopping on some of these Orc Arrow Boys, just munching and tearing them apart. That's a very good little pick by him there. He should be able to get through them rather quickly. However, there's so many arrows on the field, and these trolls, which are pretty damn good against the dinosaurs, are going to be coming in, and he has started to rampage. My last bastion of strength really is just these very few Star Chamber Guardians here. There's only 33 of them left. So they're cutting through these goblins, and they do pretty damn good against the trolls themselves. The Bastiladon has been stuck in place here, so the Temple Guard are going to come up and support to protect him from these nasty trolls. And the Salamander eventually did turn around and managed to break off these Orcs on the side here, and he's still got a few shots left. Let's see, he's got 7 shots left, which can do a ton of damage against Orcs. Now Orcs, it's good never to give up against Orcs, okay? They do not have the best leadership, and the longer the fight goes on, the more likely they are to break. I still have a Bastiladon here who does cause terror. He's running around and he's breaking a lot of these units. I'm just trying to protect them as much as possible with the Star Chamber Guardians, and in return they are getting healed by the big Rift Crystal. See in the distance there, some flaming shots coming in. I'm trying to take out these guys because they're anti-large, and at the moment my opponent doesn't have too much which can take down the Bastiladon, apart from the withering fire from all the archers. These Temple Guard are trying to get over here just to meet up, trying to form kind of a little last stand here, a little Death Star. I believe unfortunately the Carnosaur did run away. However, he is going to rally in a second. He's quite fast. He's managed to get the speed on these trolls. He needs to be coming back and being just a little bit of a nuisance. As you can see over in the main fight, these Temple Guard have got Gorkle Fix-It on them, so they've been a little bit debuffed. And they're just fighting goblins, getting stuck down, kind of pulled down by his goblins as they're doing their job, while their Orc arrow boys come in and just keep doing that withering fire. And eventually they will go down. Doesn't matter how elite you are, you get enough arrows fired into you, you will unfortunately fall to the ground by this guy with his 3 arrows in him, doing his best Boromir impression. I am desperately at this point trying to get onto the Night Goblin War Boss, just thinking, well, if I can maybe break him, hopefully the Terror can really help me out here. I can force off these other units. But my opponent does drop a Tormentor Sword there, stopping my people from moving while he hops away on his mighty steed here into the woods to try and escape. Now, Salamander has been firing shots this whole time, and is managing to break these Savage Orc arrow boys, which is very good here. Completely shattering them, in fact, so these guys will not be coming back. Trolls are once again popping in, but I've got the Rev Crystal down, and the Star Chamber Guardians are doing their job and taking these guys out quite nicely. The Salamander is going to be running into close combat now, trying to pick apart these arrow boys. They don't have ammo, so they're not too much of a threat. However, I am trying to pick off, any units where I can, just to try and force that power bar in the top to be in my favour, so the Orcs are more likely to run. Now the Skinks over here have managed to catch a Night Goblin Shaman. He's a Goblin and a magic user, so he's not tough, but neither is Skinks, and he still is a hero, this guy. He's going to be over here, blasting Skinks all over the place. Now, the Connoisseur did come back, destroy that unit which was chasing him, and he's going to be coming back and trying to take out some of his arrow boys, mate, who have just run out of ammo, but once again, I'm just trying to pick away at his army wherever I can. And all of a sudden, from a very bad position, things aren't looking too bad. My opponent still has the edge here, he's still got his Lord and a few units around, including a magic user. However, I've managed to kind of claw and drag myself back, mainly thanks to this Ancient Salamander who's been popping on units and shattering them, and this little group here, the little duo here, the dream team of the Star Chamber Guardians who keep getting healed up, protecting this big Rev Crystal. So they walk around just shattering units, and you see all these units here, the ones with the skulls and the flags mean they won't come back. One with flags means they've got a chance, but it depends on how much damage they've sustained, and if there's any allies nearby, and so forth. Consul's going to be running over here, trying to help out, take out this Night Goblin Shaman. However, my opponent is using his mobility here of his Lord to come in and try and save his little fellow Goblin down here. Unfortunately for me, Bastiladon is rather slow, including the Temple Guard. They're desperately trying to get over to this fight, which I know is going to be very important to the outcome of this battle, but they are struggling a little bit. However, the little Skinks on the Bastiladon are throwing javelins as they go at these trolls, just doing a little bit of extra damage. And just being near the Bastiladon is actually making these guys waver. You can see over here, unfortunately, the big Carnosaur is running off once more, and the Skinks are getting beaten down pretty bad, unfortunately, by this Night Goblin boss on his little streak here. However, they did manage to break off the Night Goblin Shaman, so it's not all a big loss, and I'm coming in with the big guns right now. So my opponent here, he's trying to saturate his guys, take the Orc arrow boys, take the fight, then saturate these in these trolls. These trolls now get a free charge, I don't get to charge into them. And the Orc arrow boys weren't worth much to my opponent at this point anyway, when they've got no ammo. Unfortunately, the enemy Shaman does rally on the side here, firing one shot before running away. It does some serious damage. As you can see, the Bastiladon is starting to break. The opponent pops one more wire here. Some of his units do run away. Now, this is a super close fight. I know I need to win this fight. I need to kill his Lord here and hope my units stand their ground. If they do, I can pop one more hit on my Bastiladon and everything should be quite good. So I'm chasing down these trolls, but they are starting to flee now. With the wire, they're doing a ton of damage, and once again, he's dropped the Tormentor Sword, which is a really nice piece of equipment that you can bring, which just traps everything, in a certain area, and these guys can't move. Unfortunately, Temple Guard can't come over and help protect this Bastiladon right now against this very nasty Goblin War Boss. However, both are starting to break at the same time, desperately trying to take this guy down, and just as he breaks, unfortunately, so does my guy. So if he had managed to stand, he had been perfect. And everything else was starting to run and shatter, and his terror is really useful. However, I did manage to get the Goblin War Boss. There's not much chance of him coming back with only 300 health. But unfortunately, my opponent does have this unit of trolls, and they are much faster than my Temple Guard. They're going to be able to chase down this Bastiladon, and there's not much I can do to try and rescue him. So I do run after him for a little while, trying to catch him up here. Besides, I can't physically do that. He's going to chase off the Bastiladon no matter what happens. So I try and get some freebies over here. I'm just chasing off these arrow boys, as I really think the only way I can win now is to break the trolls. There's no way I can kill them. They have poor leadership. They have no leader anymore. So I shatter off all his friends. Hopefully they will as well. So So at this point I'm just going to super fast forward it, guys, because a rather long chase here, just I'm shouting off these guys. I did forget one thing, however. Trolls have regeneration, much like the skin wolves of the Norskins. So this entire time I'm not fighting them and I'm chasing off this last unit, they are regenerating, so it might have been a better move just to come back and fight them straight away. But you can see they're going to be regenerating quite a lot of health here. As you see just on the left hand side there, the health is zooming up. At this point I was a little bit worried the game was going to end in a draw, because the timer was running up. I was chatting to my opponent. It seemed like a really nice guy actually, he was a really good guy to talk to. I'm trying to race over my temple guard as fast as possible so we can finish the fight. I don't want to just hide in the woods, you know, and stop the battle. I'd rather actually just get in there and, you know, finish the fight as fair as possible. The temple guard are anti-large, they're going to be running in. However, there's only 16 of them. They are pretty bad, and these trolls are fear-causing monsters, and they're armor-piercing. Here comes the last charge of the Star Chamber Guardians, charging in, and oh, like, that guy got absolutely punted as he tried jumping in there. One big swing made him go flying. He's back up on his feet though, coming back into the fight, but with that, my guys do break. So unfortunately, it is a valiant defeat. Very well played to my opponent. That was a super close game. One of the closest games I've ever fought, actually, up there in my dwarf one where I just had Krumper on his own against, you know, tides of elves. Let's go to the end stats there. So very well played to get Krumper there, living up to his orc name, fighting with the orcs very well. I actually really like his builds. I haven't faced orcs too often, but I don't think trolls are normally picked. With their armor piercing and regen, they're actually really good for the long game, especially against small elite armies of dinosaurs. You know, I'm not very fast, I can't chase them down, and they're going to keep rallying and coming back. The goblin was just awesome because he's a night goblin war boss, you know, on his little squig. He's very cool. I didn't think he's most competitive, but who cares, you know, he's so cool. And really nice play of the archers, you know, spreading them out, making sure that when I did break into that back line, you know, I punched through the front quite quickly. However, his archers are all over the place. I have quite a small army, so I can't chase them down. Just that slow, withering fire does pick my troops apart. So very well played. That was a really super fun game, even though I lost. I was smiling at the end and thinking, oh, I have to show this one on YouTube. It's just such a good, close game. So hope you've enjoyed this, guys. Hopefully, my next video is going to be up tomorrow, and it's going to be the start of my campaign. So at the moment, it's going to be Ittic Claw. He has the most votes. So if anyone would like to Henna win instead, it's going to be between those two. Leave a vote down below. Just let me know in the comments, and I'll check it tomorrow morning before I pop on and start doing the campaign. So hope you enjoyed this, guys. Peace, peace. See you next time.